little sheet. We are going to answer the first one together. It's talking about light. So, the first question. Light appears to travel in a what line? Jannah? Of course, straight lines. You're supposed to say lines because, of course, light can move in lines. The next one also, again, it's very important. It's about how can we see. Each line you are going to draw or the direction to see the light, it will give you a mark for it. So we have your eye, we have the mango, and the source of light, which is the lamp. So your eye can get the light from, or we are going to draw the light coming from the lamp. The light coming from the lamp, right? So, yes. So the light will come from the lamp. This is the first direction. Yes, and then the mango is already a regular surface, yes, but it will reflect the light on our eyes. Yes, it will reflect the light in many directions. That's why it will be dull, not shiny, but at least some lights will come to your eyes. That's why you can see it. Thank you so much. The next. Sorry, Farida. Jack can see the book on his table in the daytime. However, at night, he cannot see the book. Explain why Jack cannot see the book at night. Why we cannot see it at night?
Because there is not enough light.
So number one, because we need a light source, right? This is number one, there is no light source. Number two, of course, the book doesn't reflect any light to your eyes. That's why you cannot see it, right?
Yeah.
So number one, we need a light source to see. Number two, the book doesn't reflect any light on our eyes. We can make it as number bullets, or we can make it as when, like one sentence, and can use like make it a complex sentence. When the bulb doesn't reflect any light on our eyes. So you can make it like numbers, or you can make it like a complex sentence. So Jaida, the next. On the lines below, write whether the following images show light source or light reflectors. Letter A is already the sun. Letter B, I can see it's like a planet or a moon. Letter C, it's like a lamp. Letter D, it's like a mirror. So, light sources, light reflectors. Letter A, light source or light reflector?
Light source.
Because it's already sun, it's giving us heat and light. Letter B, source or reflector?
Reflector.
Because it looks like the moon, and the moon can reflect the light of the sun. Letter C, light. The lamp is a light source. It's manufactured or man-made or artificial. So we have three words: artificial, man-made, manufactured. It means they are made by humans, right? And letter D?
Yeah. Reflector.
That's right. So light source like sun, like lamp, like car headlights. Moon and mirror, they are reflectors. So yeah, Judy, this boy is said, if the light source moves closer to the object, the light source moves closer to the object, the shadow will be smaller. Do you agree or disagree with that, Jack? Do you think if the light comes closer to the object, the shadow will be smaller?
Yeah.
So, you said he is already correct?
Yeah, he's correct.
Why is that?
Because when we go.
You didn't play in the darkness before? You didn't put your hand in front of a flashlight? And now look at the shadow on the wall. It will be bigger or smaller?
It will be bigger when it comes closer and smaller when it comes.
So now read again.
Before.
So yes, the light source moves closer to the object like your hand. So it will be smaller or it will be bigger?
will be bigger.
So now he is incorrect. Why is that? You have to explain the shadow will get bigger or larger if the light source moved closer. So Jack, we said his name is Jack, is incorrect. Why is that? We are going to explain the opposite. As the shadow would get larger if the light source moved closer. Anything like an experiment, you can imagine to do it by yourself. Like you have a torch, you have your hand like an object moving closer and farther. So now it will be like your answer, it will be right if you can imagine the experiment. So Yazin, number 6. Ready?
Yes. Yes.
He is asking you to do what? Circle which of the following shadows would be cast by the apple. You can leave the meeting and join again because it's lagging, but you can answer this. Which one it will be the shadow? The one that looks circular or the one that looks like another shape, like rectangle shape?
Circular.
Why is that? Because the shadow is supposed to be like the body. And explain your choice of the shadow by referring to ways that the light travels. Now, the light travels in what?
Uh,
In zigzag or straight lines?
yes.
Which one?
A straight line.
So that's why the shadow, it will be looks like the same of the apple. Close your mic, please. Rejoin the meeting. So we will say that the shadow number 1, it will be the right one because the light is moving in straight lines. So it will take the shape of the body. That's why it will be number 1. So we will say the light travels in a straight line. That's why it will take the shape of the objects. So again, the next one. What I have here, I have sun as being light source. I have a tree and I have a robin or a bird. Then I have like a wall. It made of bricks, which is already opaque object, will block the light. I have a boy. This man cannot see the robin in the tree. Explain why. So now the sunlight is moving in straight lines. What will face the straight lines here? The wall, right? Yes, so you can say the wall is already opaque object that blocks the light. As the light is moving in straight lines, the boy cannot see the robin, right? So you will say the wall is an opaque object. So it will block the light and the man cannot see the robin. So Farida, the man is now using a periscope. Remember in the periscope we have 2 mirrors. This periscope, he said, draw arrows in the diagram to show the path of the light that allows him to see the bird. So number 1, the light falls on the object which is the robin that he wants to see, right?
Yeah.
So the robin is already opaque object and also irregular. It will reflect the light in many directions. So some of the light will go through here, through the hole of the periscope on the mirror, the first mirror. So the mirror is already smooth, regular surface, which will reflect all the light in one direction. The second mirror also will reflect the light in one direction on the eyes of the boy. So that's why he can see. So each line is very important. Number 1, the light falls on the objects like the robin or the bird. The bird reflects the light in many directions. Some of them will go through the hole. The mirror will reflect the light, the first mirror. The second mirror also will reflect the light on the eye of the boy. So this is if we want to draw the arrows, how can the boy use the periscope to see the robin, right?
Yeah.
But now, can you explain for me how the periscope works?
The light enters the first mirror.
Yeah, so now you can see the periscope has two mirrors, that's right. Each one can reflect the light. And also the light goes through the hole because it travels in a straight line also, right?
Yeah.
So you can make it shorter. How can I make it shorter? You can say the periscope has two mirrors that reflect the light. Reflect which light? When the light or when the straight lines of light move or goes through the holes, goes through the hole, or travels through the hole. So this is everything important about light. Thank you, Closing Mike. Number one, we need to know that light moves in straight lines. We cannot see without light source. Opaque objects can block the light. Transparent can allow the light to pass. Some objects like the moon and the mirror, they are light reflectors. They are not light source. We can use a periscope if you want to see something behind the wall, like this boy made an experiment by using two mirrors inside the periscope and so on. The smooth surface like the mirror reflects the light in one direction. The robin or the bird, its irregular body reflects the light in different directions. So this is everything about the first sheet. So this is a progression test. It has everything that you need to study in year 6. The first one, of course, it's talking about different topics. The first one is talking about circulatory system. So he said, section number 1, circulatory system. Here is a diagram of the circulatory system. He is pointing to letter A. What do you think letter A can be? What is the name of the organ? The heart. And what is the function of letter A?
Pumps blood to the whole body.
Yes, it just pumps the blood to whole body. Pumps blood around body. Can we explain more? Yes, we can explain more if you want to just explain all the circulatory system. So it can give oxygen and nutrients to the body when it can get rid of the wastes and carbon dioxide through the lungs. Okay, letter C. So Jaida, this table shows the percentage of oxygen traveling in different blood vessels. We have different blood vessels, A, B, C. The percentage of the oxygen in A, 94%. In letter B, it's 83%. In letter C, it's 75%. So which of these vessels is transporting blood from the lungs to the heart? Do you think A, B, or C?
B.
Why is that? The lung will give the heart oxygen, more oxygen. The lung will take the oxygen from the air. So do you think that the blood will have less oxygen or the highest oxygen ever?
Highest oxygen.
Which is what, letter A, B, or C?
B.
A. And explain your answer. Now I explain it for you. So we said because this is the highest percentage of oxygen, and because the lungs will store it to collect oxygen to give it to the heart, is giving the heart oxygenated blood, right?
Yeah.
So we will say because A has the highest percentage of oxygen. Okay, so blood travels from lungs to heart with oxygenated blood. So now, the highest percentage of the oxygen, it will be from the heart to the lung. From the lung to the heart, sorry. Why? Because the lung will start to take oxygen from the air and gives the heart oxygenated blood so it can pump to all the body. So Yazin, which of these can have a negative effect on the body after entering the system? Alcohol, air, drugs, nutrients.
alcohol and drugs.
Thank you. Close your mic. Okay, the next is Farida. Write down 2 effects regular exercise can have on the body. So, 2 effects regular exercise. If you said I'm going to practice an exercise every day, do you think the regular exercise can have effect on your body?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing is he said I want to have a strong what? To have strong muscles. You exercise to have strong muscles. Do you think it has an effect on your circulatory system?
Yeah.
Yes, it will improve your circulatory system. Do you think when you make exercise, you can breathe more so you can take more oxygen around your body, right?
Right.
Okay, so we can have strong muscles when you have exercise. You can improve your circulatory system. You can have more oxygen. You can get rid of the toxins from your body because your body will going to sweat. So all the toxins can get outside your body. So also this it will be great. You can improve your digestion because your stomach will digest more food to give you energy and so on. So all of this because you are going to exercise. So the next is again, take the chart which most likely shows somebody's heart rate when they are sleeping. So do you think when you are sleeping, your heart rate will be higher or less?
Less.
Less. When you start to exercise, your heartbeats will be more, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So which one is about sleeping? Now, this is heartbeats and this is the time. Do you think the heartbeat is decreasing with the time? Do you think your heartbeat is steady during sleeping? Do you think your heartbeats will rise up during sleeping? Which one is the right one during sleeping? Do you think you are going to feel that your heartbeat is decreasing? I don't think so. Until it reaches zero,
B.
B. Why is that your heartbeat? It will be the same. It's like 91 pulse per minute. BPM, it means pulse per minute. So you can have like 91 during sleeping because you are not moving, you are not doing any action, and so on. Explain your answer. We said that because you are not moving, right?
Yeah.
Yes, you are sleeping. So you are not moving, you are not doing any exercise, you are not doing any activity. So your heartbeat is already what? Steady. So because we are not or we aren't doing any activity, so heartbeats are steady. Okay, the next is Judy. Name 3 types of microorganisms. This is the second unit, which is talking about microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, and so on. So if I said name 3 types of microorganisms that can live around us, like what?
Like bacteria,
Bacteria, yes. What else?
virus,
Coronavirus, like coronavirus and cytomegalovirus and so on. What else?
fungi,
Fungi, and so on. So the fungus, bacteria, viruses, also the parasites, they are microorganisms, but the parasites sometimes can be bigger than microorganisms. So it's better to say bacteria, viruses, and fungi. Okay, the next. So the next question is for you, yeah, Jaida. What did Carl Linus create? Okay, Carl Linus is talking about what? He create what? Hmm. By the way, he created many things, but what is the most, popular thing? Okay, so he classified all the systems and he made classification system and he classified all the items and the things into groups. So he makes something called the classification system. He's making what? Classification system. This is what Carl Linus creates. He makes something called the classification system. It means he classifies the items and the things into group. Carl Linus, he make a classification system because he classify everything into groups, like vertebrates, invertebrates, and so on. So, which of these animals is an invertebrate? The shark, the ladybird, eagle, newt, or crocodile? Which one doesn't have a backbone? Shark, ladybird. What is the meaning of ladybird? It's like a bug, right? So do you think the bug is already vertebrate or invertebrate because it doesn't have a skeleton? Invertebrate, yes. They don't have a skeleton. They have exoskeleton, but they don't have internal skeleton. So the ladybug is already invertebrate. The next. So after this, Farida, complete the full flow chart with the correct animal names according to their similarities and differences. I can see here a bird, a cat, a snail, a bug, a fish, and a human. The first question. The first question, does it have legs? If we said yes, we can ask a new question. Does it have more than 4 legs? If we said yes, which one do you think it has more than 4 legs?
Number 4, the green color.
Which one? The green color, it's the insect, right?
Yeah.
Okay, insects. And if we said no, does it have 4 legs? Yes. So which one it has 4 legs? It's only one has 4 legs.
Cat.
Cat. So the ones that we choose, we will make a slash. If we said no, we will ask a new question because this is classification. Can it fly? If we said yes, which one can fly?
The first one.
The bird. But if we said no, and it has 4 legs, do you think does it have 4 legs? We said no. We said can it fly? We said also no. طب يا teacher, give me a minute. The next one it doesn't have legs يبقى اكيد احنا already مش هنتكلم عن الفيش ولا السنيل. احنا بنتكلم على اللي عندها legs. يبقى مين الوحيده اللي عندها legs الباقيه؟
Human.
The girl or the human. اما بقى لما no they don't have legs, doesn't have a shell, if we said yes it will be what?
Yes.
The snail. But if we said no, doesn't have legs, of course it will be the last one. It doesn't have a shell.
Fish.
The fish. So this is how we can classify. Sorry, we use identification key. We ask a question to classify them into groups. Turn the page. So يا جنة, draw lines to match the words to their definitions. Variation, he said, difference between individuals of the same species. Variation, it means they are different even if they are the same species. Inheritance. Inheritance, it means you can have the same color for your mother. You have the same length, maybe the skin, and so on.
Wallet.
Okay, so it will be changes to certain characteristic which help species to survive, or when characteristics are passed down from parents to offsprings, or it changes to the characteristic of a species over a long time. The inheritance, you are going to take your mother characteristics, right? From parents to offsprings. So it will be the one in front of it. You are going to take her eyes color and so on. This is inheritance. But evolution, we said, maybe the shark is not the same as the shark that lived a million years ago. So they started change over time. So which one? Of course, it will be the last one. Can you read? Changes to the characteristics of the species like a shark over a long time of a period of time. And adaptation, we know adaptation. All the animals start to change, maybe their behavior, their structure, why to survive in the environment. So this is the adaptation. So the next one, Yajudi, inherited characteristics are always physical. Do you think true or false? If you inherit some characteristics from your mother, all of the things that you inherit from your mother, it will be physical, like in your body, or you can inherit some behavior. Judy?
Some behavior and the
So,
other from your
yes, so
father or
false.
siblings.
Yes. So inherited characteristics, they are not always physical. How can we use fossils as evidence of evolution? So, maybe if you visited any museum about fossils, you're going to look at the fish fossils and said, what? It looks so weird. It has like long fangs. It has like a longer streamline shape and so on. So of course the fossils, it will be evidence for evolution. Why is that? Because they are the same or they are different than the species that live right now?
Because they're different.
Different in what? Different in the look, different in the skeleton, different in the features and everything.
Different in
Yeah.
all because they
Okay.
then
Because they have what? Different conditions in the past for their environment. So of course they change over time and adapt. That's why they look like it changed over time. So fossils are different in skeleton and body structures than animals or than the same species nowadays. And also we can say because they have to adapt to the environment. So because fossils are different in skeleton and body structures than the species nowadays. Maybe you are talking about the same species, the same fish, but it's different in the look. Why? Because they adapt to the environment over millions of years. The next. So Yazin, label the picture to show two examples of how the polar bear has adapted to suit the Arctic environment. So how can they adapt to suit the Arctic environment? What do you think? This polar bear has what to adapt? What about the fur? What can you see?
Water.
White fur to camouflage. What else?
Nose.
What about the nose? We can see thick fur. What else? Blubber or thick fats. Why? To keep it warm. What else?
Has teeth.
Where is the teeth? You can see the teeth?
I mean, claw.
They have large feet and claws, not to think in the snow. So please concentrate. Thank you. Close your mic. So we can see many things in real fact. White fur to camouflage, that's why it can hunt easily. Thick fur is thick fat to keep it warm, large feet and claws to hunt easily. The next is talking about light because this sheet is about everything you study in year 6. So again, Complete this sentence. We answered this before. Light travels in a straight line, right? And how can we see the lemon? Light falls on the lemon and then? And the question, let us see, what is the shadow? How can the shadow form? So the shadow is already a lightened area or a dark area?
Dark area.
So it will be formed where what? The object will be transparent or opaque and block the light?
Opaque.
So a shadow is already a dark area. It formed when the opaque object blocks the light. So this is the meaning of the shadow. The next. So Farida, complete this question about changing the size of the shadow. So it could be investigated using a fear test. What happens to the what of the shadow if you change the distance between what and the what? Do you think the shadow will be different in what? In shape or in size?
Inside.
Because your hand is the same. So what happened to the size of the shadow if you change the distance between what and what?
The image.
Image or the light source. معاكي torch. قلنا imagine the torch and your hand. So the light source and the object. Your hand is the object. Maybe you are playing with a toy. Maybe you want to make a shadow for something else, like a cup. So you are going to play with the flashlight and the object, and then you can see different sides of the shadow. It's according to the lens. So yeah, Judy, now the next page is about electricity.
Yeah.
The first one.
No. I forgot
It's what? Name this component. The component. What's the name of this component?
the sign.
It's what?
The sign of the
This component is what? What is sound or it's called buzzer?
buzzer.
You cannot say sound. It makes a sound, but the name of it is already buzzer. Okay. If I said draw a circuit diagram to represent this circuit. So this is a motor, right?
Yeah.
And you need to remember the difference between the buzzer and the motor. The buzzer, it has like lines in the middle like this. But the motor, it looks like this one. You can put a fan here. So the motor, we are going to draw letter M inside a circle, right? The wire. What about the battery? Longer line? Shorter line. Which one is the positive? The longer line or the shorter line? The longer line is a positive one. The shorter one is a minus. The longer line is a positive one. The shorter one is a negative one. So Jaida, name one way to make the motor in the circuit shown above spin more slowly. If you want the motor to spin very slowly, what you can do? You don't have to change the battery. But what we can do for the wire, do you think we will make the wire longer or shorter?
Longer.
You can make the wire longer, so it will store the electricity to move in all the wire, so it will move what slowly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, you can add another lamp. So the lamp will start to take some of the electricity, so the motor will move slower. But we can just what? We can just stick with the wire, and we can say use the longer wire. So that's why the electricity flow until it reaches the motor, it will be less, and the voltage also will be less. Or we can change the cell to be less voltage also. So we have many options. You can add a lamp, so it will take some electricity for it. You can make a longer wire. You can get a battery or a cell with less voltage. The next.
Yeah.
Okay, Zain. The table shows the result of a comparative test to investigate how the number of wires used affects the volume of a buzzer. The number of wires here, we have 2 wires. So this is what? Between what and what? The number of wires, and use affix the volume of the buzzer. The volume of the buzzer. Volume, it means the sound is high or low. That's why he wrote for you decibels, because decibel is the unit of the sound, louder or lower. So if I use 2 wires, the sound, it will be 71. When we increase more wires, the sound of the buzzer will start to be less. But there is something here. In 4 wires, it will be 9. In 5, 56. In 6, it will be 47. So, number 4, in 4 lines, it will be 9. Do you think this is a reasonable and accepted response?
No.
No. Why? At least it will list by 10, not to be list and becomes 9. Of course, 71, 61, maybe it will be like 59. That's why 5 wires, it will be 56. 6 wires, it will be 47. So which result is likely to be anomaly? It means wrong. It doesn't make any sense. So you will say 4 wires with 9 decibels doesn't make any sense as a result. Doesn't make any sense as a result. In real fact, they're supposed to be like 59 to make more reasonable. Okay. So this is the answer in the end. This is the end of the test. This test including electricity, light, circulatory system, microorganisms, and most of the points that can come in the exam. So this also, it's about the last unit for your book, or also from year 5, year 4, year 3, all the units in the end of the book is talking about the same topics, solar system or our universe. So, join up the labels to the correct star or a planet. Sun, of course, we are going to connect it to the sun, right? So which one is yours? Do you think what? The planet in the end, or the planet with like simpler rings around it? With rings over there. Venus, do you think it's called the red planet or the hottest planet? But teacher, Mercury is closer, but Venus is the hottest. But Jupiter, we are going to call it the smallest one or the biggest planet ever? What about Mars? What we can call Mars? The red planet. What we can call Mars? What about Earth? The blue planet. It's our planet, the blue planet. What about Saturn? What we can call Saturn? The planet with colorful rings. With colorful what? Rings. What about Mercury? The smallest and the closest planet to the sun. And Neptune is the last planet, and also it's very cold. So it's very simple about 8 planets and sun. So Farida, what is the name of the force that draws things toward the center of an object? Friction, gravity, magnetism, air resistance. Draws things, it means pulls the things towards. Of course, gravity. That's why, because the sun is the biggest object. Can you see the size? The sun is bigger comparing to the size of the planets. It can use its size and its gravity to draw all the planets around it. So they are spinning around it all the time. Now we are going to match. This is very important because they are like, close your mic, Farida. They are like information about our universe. So, Judy, what is the definition of the universe? Do you think it's a group of planets and matter that orbits around a star? Large celestial bodies that orbit a different star? Everything that exists including Earth, planets, stars, and galaxies?
No.
Why no? What is the universe? It's
Yes.
everything, the galaxies, stars, planets, Earth, sun, everything. This is the universe, right?
Yeah.
Everything that exists is already the universe. Because we talk about the biggest thing ever. So we talk about everything that already exists in the nature. So which one is already a planet? A group of planets, large celestial bodies that orbit a
A
different
solar
star.
system is a group of planets.
A group of planets? The planet is a group of planets?
No, a solar system is a group of planets.
Oh, you are asking a solar system is a group of planets? Yes. What about the planet? It's just large celestial bodies that orbit the sun, right?
Yeah.
What about the
Galaxies,
galaxy?
billions of stars.
Billions
Billions of
of yes.
stars.
Because our galaxy, like Milky Way, it doesn't have only the sun as being a star. It has billions of stars, dust, and matter that are held together by gravitational force, and also like our Milky Way. And exoplanet, it means the planet, hello, you are far away from us. You are going around another star rather than our solar system. That's why we call it exoplanet, because it's outer of our solar system and we don't know the names because we didn't discover any system rather than our solar system until now.
Yeah.
So the next. So in this Hijaida, say whether the following statements are true or false. That's all. The Earth orbits around the Sun, true or false? The Earth orbits around the Sun, true or false?
True.
And the Sun is a planet?
True.
The Sun is a star. Can you be faster? The Moon is the center of the solar system and all planets revolve around it? Of course, no. The Sun is in the center and the Sun is a star. Of course, he can ask us to just correct the mistake. So please remember to read the question very well because it will give you a mark for correction. The gravity of the sun keeps the planet in their orbits. The gravity of the sun keeps the planets in their orbits. Of course, yes. Without the gravity of the sun, the planets will move everywhere, will scatter everywhere. Okay, the next page is talking about what? This is very important to draw. So yeah, Jana, draw a label diagram that shows how the Earth, Moon, Sun move in relationship to each others. Of course, there is a mistake in your drawings when you draw something is bigger than the others. So which is the biggest body you are going to draw in the middle? The Sun. After this, you are going to draw like an oval orbit to remember it's moving in oval orbit. And then you are going to draw the Earth to be smaller in size. And then you have to draw the axis to be tilted, not straight, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to draw the direction of the movement. And then you have to draw another orbit around the Earth. And then you have to draw the moon to be smaller than the Earth. So what we can draw specific details. Sun, the orbit for the Earth, the axis for the Earth, the moon to be smaller size, the movement of the Earth's direction. So now, and the drawing supposed to be with sizes. Don't forget the sizes. The sizes is very important to be right. So, Jana, why do we experience night and day on Earth? Now he's talking about revolution or rotation. Why we have day and night? This is revolution or rotation? Rotation. Because the Earth rotates around its axis every 24 hours, right? احنا لسه رسمينها because Earth rotates around its axis every 24 hours. So يا فريدة, how long does it take for the Earth to spin once on its axis? When the Earth spins once on its axis, how many?
24 hours.
The Earth to go around the Sun once,
365.
65 days, which it will be, and also 0.25, right?
Yeah.
Which is around 1 year. So the Earth go around the Sun in 365.25, يعني مربع, which is around 1 year, and it can form the 4 seasons. So يا جودي, in which hemisphere is Australia located? Teacher, but maybe I forget where is Australia. Of course, we need to know the map. By why is that? Okay, you can know at least the continents. Asia on the north, on the south you can see Africa and Australia, right? North America in the north, South America in the south. So he's not going to talk about cities, he's going to ask you about a continent. So in the northern or in the southern atmosphere, hemisphere, southern, right?
South.
Yes, like Africa. And explain why the moon looks different to us on Earth at different times. So we have many phases for the moon. You studied this in year 3. So they change their phases according to their position, right?
Yeah.
And also you have to discuss 3 things. Number 1, the moon is a light reflector, reflects the sunlight. The moon is moving around the Earth, is not fixed in one place. So it's moving around the Earth in an orbit. Number 3, according to its position to the sun, it will reflect amount of light. That's why we can see different phases. So now you have to explain 3 points. Of course, I will write the shortcuts, يعني اختصار. Moon لازم تشرحي ان هو light reflector. That's why we can see it lightened أصلا. You have to say that the moon is going around the Earth in an oval orbit or elliptical orbit. And then you have to say, according to the moon's position, we can see different phases of the moon. Okay. So, Iraida, think about each of the following facts and explain how they impact our lives on Earth.
Yeah.
The Earth rotates on tilted axis. Explain how this impacts our life. When it rotates around its axis. So the Earth rotates on its axis. Do you think this is called 4 seasons or day and night?
Day and night.
The Earth revolves around the sun, day and night or 4 seasons? 4 seasons. The moon and sun has gravitational pulls on the Earth. Okay, let me explain this for you. So the moon has gravity on Earth. Yes. When you inshallah will go to the beach in the vacation, so you can see the tide. It means the water is moving forward and backward, right?
Yeah.
So do you think this is because of the impact of the moon? Yes. What else? Also, because the sun has a gravitational pull, the Earth will be in its orbit, doesn't go anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Also, we have the same 4 seasons every year because it keeps it in the same position. We have day and night because the Earth's gravity is already fixed, doesn't it change? So you can talk about many things. So moon's gravity, you can talk about the tide.
Okay.
But the sun's gravity, you can talk about it will be in a fixed orbit, the same day and night every day, the same 4 seasons, and so on. The same question that we answered. So this is the exam or about the last units in every stage, like in year 3, 4, 5, and so on. So always is talking about solar system. So this exam is talking about electricity. So the first one is talking about what? that some appliances can use battery powered to work. Maybe like our phone can use battery or main powered. Some of them can use mains powered only, like washing machine. Or this is not appliance, it's just like non-electrical appliance. Like the saucepan, it's non-electrical, it doesn't use electricity. What about the torch?
Battery for power.
Powered. What about the microwave?
Means power.
What about the potato peeler?
Not electricity.
None. Okay, non-electrical. Washing machine? Means powered. What about the alarm clock?
Battery or main power.
Why is that? Because this alarm clock, it looks like it has a plug and socket. So we can charge it like the laptop or the phone. But if he give us like another alarm clock like the old one, yes, we can say battery only. Thank you. So again, write a definition explaining each one of them. If we want to define or explain what is the means electricity. So this is electricity powered by a battery or powered by wires and supplied to the building. Means electricity. Electricity what? Supplied to the building through wires, right? You have electricity at home because it's supplied by the electric towers from the factory or from the factory until your building. Through what? It moves through the wires. And the appliance, any device that can use electricity, we can call it appliance, right? So any device use electricity, maybe by battery, by main electricity, whatever, and do a specific job, it's already what? An appliance. What about a series circuit? You are going to connect each them after each other's or below each other's? After each other. Below it will be parallel. يبقى it has one loop. طيب خلينا نخليها أبسط. It has only one loop, one route يعني, one line, or many loops. It has one loop because they are after each other's, right? So series circuit, when you connect all components in one route on one loop only. One loop, it means like after each other's. And if we increase the number of the components, the intensity of the light, or the buzzer sound, it will be less. But the parallel circuit, when you connect them into many loops, the intensity will be the same. That's why at houses, it's series circuit or parallel circuit? Parallel circuit, right? Right? Yes, it's a parallel. So yeah, Farida, the light bulb is on. What does this tell you about the coin over there?
The coin is a good conductor
Of electricity, super. So it tells us that this coin, it's made of metal, is metal, and a good conductor of electricity. And Jaida, what should you do if you find some damage or broken electrical equipment? Take 2 boxes. Tell an adult, continue to use it, put it back with the rest of the equipment, don't use it. Tell me. Judy? Of course, you will tell an adult you don't use it. Why? It's a damaged circuit. You are going to get electric shock. So that's why you should not to use any damaged wires. So yeah, Jaida, what is this a picture of and what does it do? Do you think this is a motor or buzzer?
buzzer.
Yes, and it gives us motion or it gives us sound?
Sound.
So it's a butter. So I can make any toy making sound for making sound.
Is it sound like a speaker?
Yeah, it's like a speaker. Yes, that's right. The next. So Yazin, look at the circuit diagram and write a sentence to say what you think will happen to the bulb and why. Number one, the light bulb here will be on or there is no light.
Or paper.
No light. This is a complete circuit or incomplete circuit.
Incomplete.
So we supposed to write many things. طبعا احنا بنقول أسرع علشان نخلص أو نخلص امتحانات أكتر. So the light bulb will not turn on or no light up because it's incomplete circuit. What about this? Do you think here it's a complete or incomplete?
Complete.
Because the wire is already attached from the both sides of the battery to the lamp. So now the lamp will be on, right?
Yes.
The next one, do you think the lamp will be on in this one?
No.
We're supposed to connect this wire to the other side of the battery. So also this is incomplete circuit. فاحنا لازم نعمل explain two things. Number one, the light will be up or no, and this is complete circuit or no, and why. So again, so we have here all of them. They are types of switches.
Okay.
So these pictures are of what types of component? Of what type of component? Butters, switches. We said switches already.
Yeah.
So what is the job that these electrical components do?
On and off the lamp.
On and off the lamp only. Maybe we have a motor. We don't have a lamp, or we can say open and break the circuit. Maybe the circuit will be complete or broken. So break or complete the circuit.
Okay.
So it can be completed if we are all make it what connected. It can be completed or broken by the switch. Okay. So here Farida, circle whether each of the following objects is an insulator or conductor. We have a metal coin. Do you think it's insulator or conductor?
Conductor.
And we have a plastic ruler, insulator or conductor.
Insulator.
And we have a piece of paper, insulator or conductor.
Insulator.
We have aluminum foil, insulator or conductor.
Conductor.
We have metal paper clip,
Conductor.
a rubber.
Insulator.
Okay. So here, Judy, we have switches, wires, cells, and plugs.
Okay.
A battery is a collection of two or more what?
Of two or more cells.
And what are used to connect the different components in the circuit together?
Wires.
And what is the name of this component?
Buzzer.
What about this? Are we going to say lamp or bulb? You cannot say lamp. You have to say bulb.
Bulb.
What about this, Hijaida? We supposed to say battery or cell? We're supposed to say cell because it's only one. What about this one? Yeah, Judy, you're sorry. What about this one?
This is wire.
And the last one?
Motor.
It's of course a motor. So there is everything about electricity. It's super easy. It's talking about connection, series, parallel, the components, the switch to open the circuit and close the circuit, and so on. This exam about living things and their habitats. So which vertebrates? So all of them, they are vertebrates groups. Does each animal belong to? The first one, it belongs to what? Amphibians, reptiles, or birds? The first one, mammal or birds? Birds. The second one, the tortoise is closer to the ground, so it reptiles or amphibians. Reptiles. It has hard scales. like the snake and the crocodile, closer to the ground. The third one, fish. The last one can have metamorphosis. It means have many life stages. It can live in the water and on land, so we can call it what? Amphibians. That's right. Okay, the next. So again, match each animal to their invertebrate group. We have insects. Echinoderm, it means it has like spikes. Annelid, it looks like a worm. Mollusk, it means like so soft. So it's according to the word. Which one is insect? It means has 6 legs at least.
The first one.
The ladybug. Echinoderm, it means has spikes or spines. So of course it will be what?
The third.
Annelid, it means looks like a worm. The last one. And mollusk, it's so soft. It's like a jellyfish. So you need to know the words and the meaning. Echino, it means what? And sometimes you say ino. Annelid, it means like a worm. A mollusk is so soft. So the next. So yeah, Farida, what is a microorganism?
Microorganism is a tiny organism.
Tiny organism. We can see by our own eyes, or we need to use a microscope.
Microscope.
Tiny organisms that cannot be seen by naked eyes. We need a microscope. You can complete it. Thank you. And the next here, Judy, close your mic, Yelvi. We said we have many microorganisms like viruses, bacteria, and fungi.
Yeah.
He is giving you some information, and you have to take for each one. Maybe this information for all of them, maybe it's only for one. Too small to see without a microscope. Only one or all of them? All of them, they are microorganisms already. They are called microorganisms. So micro, they need microscope, right?
Yeah.
The next, scientists disagree as to whether they are alive. They said no, they are not alive. Why? Because they are non-living thing outside the body. So which one it will be non-living thing outside the body? That's why they already disagree to be alive.
But a fungus.
The viruses, the fungi, it's already alive inside and outside. The bacteria is the same. But the virus, when you sneeze, after a few seconds, the virus will be non-living things. Often have a fruiting body above the surface. What is the meaning of this? It means it has like a big body above the surface. You can eat the fungus, right? You can eat the fungus, like the mushroom, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So it has a fruiting body. It means like it can be like something you can eat, you can see above the surface. And sometimes the fungi, like on the bread, they start to grow and you can see it by your own eyes after growing too much. Reproduce using spores. Also, the bread, if you said, I will leave the bread and this part only has fungus. No. After one day, all the bread will have fungus. Why? Because the spores will start to spread everywhere. So the fungi also can reproduce by spores. Type reproduce using the cells of the host. Which one? It will be alive inside the body only, and it can use your cell as being a host.
Bacteria.
Bacteria or the virus. We said it's alive only inside your body. So there is no host for it. The bacteria can cover itself and it's okay, can defend itself. But the virus will control your cell to be like it's a host. Usually have one of 3 distinct shapes. This is the bacteria. The bacteria can be like a rod shape, can be spherical. So they are like, most of them, they are 3 distinct shapes. So this is about microorganisms. The next. So Jaida, we have roses, pine tree, orange tree, and mosses. So what is the question? Which of the following are non-flowering plants? Remember in year 5? So which one is non-flowering? We have only 2 non-flowering. Even you cannot see fruits, you cannot see flowers. Which one you cannot see flowers? You cannot see fruits. Non-flowering, it doesn't have flowers or fruits. So it will be pine tree and the moss, right? Because this it will reproduce by using cones. So the roses and orange tree, of course, teacher, the flower will start to change into a fruit. So this is flowering, this is flowering. Only pine tree and mosses. Okay, and remember, Yazin, we said the meaning of classification. It means what? We are going to put all the animals in the same group, or we are going to classify the animals into different groups according to their characteristics. Classify animals into groups according to their characteristics. Okay, this is the classification. We have puffin, Arabian nights or mantis, spanner crab, flying fox. Flying fox, it looks like a bat. Royal python, it like a snake. Garden snail. The first question. So again, is the animal a vertebrate? If we said yes, it means have a backbone. Does the animals have wings? If we said yes, we will look to the wings. I can see here wings. I will ask another question. Does the animals have fur? If I said yes, which one has the fur? Do you think you said the puffin with the feathers or the flying fox?
Flying fox.
The flying fox. But if said no, of course it will be the puffin, right?
Yeah.
If we said if they don't have wings, we said no.
Yeah.
And it's a vertebrate. This invertebrate, invertebrate, invertebrate. So the which one is the last one vertebrate and doesn't have wings? Bison. It means a snake.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the invertebrates. They are invertebrates. So we said no. Now we will talk about the legs. If we said yes, does the animals have wings? So which one is already have wings? Arabian mantis, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if we said no, it will be what? But it has legs. Remember the first question? Yes, it has legs, but no wings.
The crab.
The crab. بنبص على السؤال اللي قبله لو انت نسيتي. طب اللي عنده no legs بقى يبقى مبقاش فاضل غير السنيل, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 8. So yeah, Farida, do you agree with Olivia? Explain your answer. She said what? Plants that only have flowers for a small amount of time count as non-flowering plants. So she said plants that have flowers for a small amount of time. They are non-flowering or they still flowering plants? Because short time, maybe the flowers change into fruits. So it's okay to have flowers for a short time because it changed into fruits, right?
Yeah.
So we said Olivia is incorrect. Why? These still flowering plants. These still flowering plants and these flowers turn into fruits. We can explain more, okay? So Jaida, this is the last question. Has legs? Olivia has sorted the following living things into a Carol diagram. She said, has a spine, it means vertebrates. Doesn't have a spine, invertebrates. And then she put has legs, like tiger for a bear, ladybug for the invertebrates, and swallowtail butterfly. Doesn't have legs, it's like earthworm, garter snake, and garden snail and leech. Okay, so the polar bear and the tiger, yes, they have a spine and has legs, right?
Yeah.
And don't have a spine and with legs like ladybird and swallowtail butterfly.
Mm,
Earthworm doesn't have legs and the greater skin doesn't have legs. But do you think the snake is already invertebrate?
no.
Okay. What about earthworm over there? It has a spine.
Yeah.
The earthworm has a spine, a backbone. So yeah, Albi, the mistake is not about the snake. Yes, the snake doesn't have legs, but she put it in the having a spine, so this is right. But the earthworm, yes, it doesn't have legs, but it has a spine.
No.
So this is the only mistake that she said. So Olivia has a mistake. What is the mistake? The earthworm, she put it to be has a in as a, being a vertebrate or having a spine, which is really doesn't have a spine. So this is the end of this exam about what? About flowering plant, classification animals, and everything you studied in year 3, 4, 5, and 6.